smell that cedarwood oil. The other thing too is I always coat all the everything on the rock. Thanks for tuning into the Wondercide channel. Hope y'all are doing great out there. Today is a review we're going to be doing of the Wondercide Flea and Tick Spray. So this is a product that I'm going to give you an introduction on. I've been using it for a number of years now, very effectively. I will show you how to apply it. Very easy. I'll also show you kind of a couple little things that I do whenever I apply this to basically everything around the house. I'll show you how that kind of works. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up real quick and just kind of have our final thoughts. So it shouldn't be a long video. Also too, y'all stay tuned because there are a lot of videos that are in the works. I'm working on a ton of stuff right now. You wouldn't even believe it. So this Wondercide, well, a couple things. Let's kind of take a two-pronged approach to it. And the first thing is that obviously with ticks, they are a big problem in the United States. Real quickly, we'll just say, hey, they pass a lot of disease, Lyme disease, anaplasmosis, not only for to humans, but also a lot of our pets as well. I actually had a dog of mine that passed away from anaplasmosis a number of years ago. Very sad due to complications from it. And also too, they can carry fevers and all sorts of stuff. Ticks are nasty little creatures and they're pretty tough as well. They can be difficult to kind of get rid of, and like a lot of pests, you have to take a multi-pronged approach to them to eliminate them, and that'll be the subject of other videos as well. The other thing with this as well is it's a thing of where a lot of times whenever we are trying to kind of prevent things like this, we want to do it in a way where with a lot of these different chemicals and stuff out there, a lot of them are pretty harsh. We don't really know the long-term effects from them, different things like that. So sometimes, you know, in our lives, there's a lot of things that modern, you know, science has come up with, a lot of these different chemicals and things that can be useful to us. But also, you know, what I try to do is I try to kind of minimize exposure to a lot of those different things if I can. And this is an example of it. So this is simply basically a solution. You're going to be hooking to our hose, and we're the primary ingredient in it is cedarwood oil. If you look online, there's numerous different studies and research that has been done. Ticks do not like cedarwood oil. It either kills them or repels them. And we want to get them basically out of our yard, either through eliminating them or discouraging them or whatever. So this product here, there's numerous products on the market. I've used several of them. I'm pretty happy with this one. It seems to do the trick. I don't put any sort of flea collar typically on my dogs. You know, they're out in the yard all the time, laying in the grass, all sorts of stuff. And when I use this on a regular basis, I don't have a problem with ticks on my dogs. So when you don't kind of go after the ticks with stuff like this, it seems where you start having problems and all that. So I use this on a regular basis. So how do we use it? Pretty simple. Just attach it to the hose, and then we go around and we basically spray and apply it. And like I said, I'll do a little video here next of us actually doing that. And that's all that's really to it. Pretty simple overall. It's just coating everything out there with it, and then letting the cedarwood oil do its trick. So let's go out in the yard. I'll show you how to apply it and a couple other things that I have learned to do whenever I use this as well, and then we'll have that final wrap up. All right, so application's pretty easy. You just have to turn the switch to on and just start spraying. Give everything a nice coating. I can smell that cedarwood oil. The other thing too is I always coat all the everything, the rocks, you know, whatever, the fence, you name it. And this is outside the fence here, so within a couple of feet. Now, another section I make sure to get is right here where the woods are up against the fence line. A lot of field mice and stuff think they can come in here off the forest and make their home here. And in transiting through here, they probably bring ticks and stuff. So I just give this area a good spray down, all this leaf litter. Ticks, they love leaf litter. So just give this a good coating. And there we go. And then also too, I'll do the outside of the fence as well. Looks like I'm gonna need to pressure wash that fence too. Folks, so let's wrap up this review in this video here with a couple of tips and a couple of points here about this. First thing, it's very easy to use. All you do is just attach it to your hose, turn on the water, rotate the dial all the way to on, and just start spraying. In terms of how much do you need? Well, if you have maybe like a typical suburban style house, in a neighborhood with kind of a regular front yard and backyard, one bottle will probably last you easily to do that whole front and backyard. If you start to get into something that's a bit bigger, like what I do is, you know, I would say my yard in general is pretty big, and then also too, I get the outer periphery as well. So I kind of did up and down the driveway, along the woods, and all that. I used up a whole bottle for the front, but keep in mind that I also went kind of outside the fence as well, and ended up spraying a pretty good area, even including a rock wall. So in total, probably I'll end up using almost 2 bottles, a bottle and a half, or up to 2 bottles to do everything. So it's just going to kind of vary, so just kind of keep that in mind. Second thing too, typically I hammer down harder with this in peak season. So for me, peak season seems to be about April, May for the ticks, and then not so much in summer, I find personally. And then you get more into October, November as they go through their life cycle. If you do a search on Google, you can find the tick life cycle. It's, you know, I won't get into that. It's kind of outside the scope of this video, but for me, I find October, November is also a bad time for ticks as well. So I tend to kind of hit things kind of heavily to keep them suppressed in those months. And then perhaps in the summer, maybe once a month or something, I'll go ahead and spray this. It just kind of depends. But definitely those peak seasons, I kind of hammer down on that and kind of focus on that mostly. The other thing too, when you're using this, coat everything up to a few feet off the ground. So I do, like I have several rock walls. And the mice, they like the rock walls. They come in off of the woods. The rock walls are attractive to them and to burrow in. One thing with ticks is that they need a host to basically propagate. So without a host, and again, that'll be kind of another video we'll get into, but they need a host. So what I do is rock walls along fences, where field mice or squirrels or chipmunks or whatever would like to go. Anything like that, I give a good coating. I even coat the plastic fence as well. Basically, I just give everything a good soaking. So not just only the grass, but you know, pretty much everything. Just give it a good coating. Also, too, pay close attention to leaf litter as well. So ticks, they love leaf litter. So definitely use this to hit the leaf litter pretty good. So up against one side of the fence in the backyard, you could see in the video, hopefully the video came out, where there is essentially the woods and then a bit of leaf litter and then the grass and then the fence. So that leaf litter there, I gave that a good soaking, a good spray. So that's something too, you know, for this, because ticks, they just love that leaf litter crap. So, you know, give that a good spraying. If you have some of that stuff around your house or whatever, Things like that, definitely pay close attention to that, and maybe even focus on that more than you would, for instance, the grass. And then also, lastly, thing to remember, this is part of an overall strategy because they need a host. So that's another thing where if we can minimize mice, you know, squirrels, chipmunks, stuff like that, even deer are a big issue, rabbits. I have a general philosophy in that, you know, I try to look after nature the best I can and give the property a nice place for all these things to live and enjoy themselves. But my thinking is that once they come inside my fence, it's fair game. And so pretty much around my fence or the outer periphery of the fence, I don't want anything, you know, around it at all. No mice, no rabbits, none of that stuff. Obviously, they're attracted to a lot of human stuff, so they'll try to come in closer and make their home with you. And, you know, I don't permit it. So that is one thing. If you can minimize the critters around your house, you're going to cut way down on the ticks, because without a host, they can't propagate. So this is just part of an overall strategy. So if you can, whatever ticks are there, if you can use this to keep them suppressed or kill them, that's a good thing. And then also too, keeping those hosts suppressed as well. And it's just, like I said, it's part of that overall strategy. So in the end, this works very well. Very happy with it. There are other similar products out there too. And I've used some of those as well, but this is the current one I've been using for a while, and it seems to do the trick. I don't really have issues with picking ticks and stuff off the dogs. So yeah, I'm very happy with it, and it just has a lot of pluses and not really any negatives I can think of. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Also too, check out the Amazon link below. By purchasing through that link, it just kicks back a tiny commission to the channel, and the more support we get from you guys, the more videos we can crank out, and it's a way for you all to voluntarily support the channel and keep the videos coming. So I do appreciate those, and also too, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as well. We'll see y'all next time.